folks. We are back another week, another Dundalk preview. What is happening, Alan?
All's quiet, Ryan. We missed out a couple, I suppose, but look, I had a couple of winners last Wednesday. Then struggled on Friday night. Chris Hayes, Luke Como in flying form. So hopefully we can get back in the winners and closers this time around. Tricky enough card. My nap was impressive over hurdles on Sunday, and we can talk about that as we go through the preview.
Definitely. I'm also going to be talking about Luke Gilmore coming through the preview. We'll start with first race. That was a good place to start. It's the 2 o'clock. It's over 7 furlongs. Alan, what are you fancying?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the favourite, Ryan, to get a claim for Gavin Cromwell. Look, Gavin's going to have a seat set on the Bowen Racing Winter Festival at Fairyhouse on Sunday coming with the likes of Gabanaco and my mate Mozzie. But together a claim, look, impressed, really improved off a run at Leopardstown, finishing second last time out on Dundalk behind Lesson Laird. This gelding kind of, he's been settling. He settled well the last time. He was very keen the time before. He's dropping down in trip. I think he's a perfect position here with Gary Carroll on board. Look, he's going to have too much class, but he's 7-4 is a very fair price. I think he'll be hard to beat.
Yeah, I'm going against you here, Alan. I am going for Jesse Harrington's Heavenly Body. Shane Foley's riding this one. This was sixth in what I think was a more competitive race than the two favourites. What they ran last time anyway. Donegal O'Brien's Simply Glorious won that race. That Heavenly Body was sixth in. I think that is a great race. It looks very, very good top to bottom. And yeah, for me, she looks an absolute brilliant each way price. I think she's around 8-1. So for me, that's a great day or great price. And I will happily play with that. Have to all 7 furlongs. I am going for John McConnell and Sam Ewing here. Ewing is claiming £5 on Could Be Good, which I think could be the real deal here. Look, I'm resisting Linus Larrabee. I normally would go for it, but that horse has just frustrated the hell out of me lately. So I am going for Could Be Good. Never ran over 7 furlongs at Dundalk. Has ran quite a few times at Dundalk, but never over 7. Course winner, of course, being relatively good for connections, picking up a lot of place money along the way. Got back-to-back wins this time last year. So I'm interested to see how he does go over 7. For me, he's the best horse in the field. Look, the ratings would agree with me. The bookies are going to agree with me. Yeah, so for me, Could Be Good.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go against you, Ryan. I'm going to hot bell for Jake Cohen and Andy Slattery. Now, Jake Cohen's been a flying form around Dundalk in recent weeks, and I think he's terrific value for a £7 claim. This filly's been very consistent in her last 3 runs. Now, she could be a force to be reckoned with on the all-weather. She's only had 7 career starts. There's likely to be a little bit more improvement to come. All her runs have been on heavy or softish ground. I don't know how she's going to handle Dundalk. Now, I was in work today with Bowen Race, and I was just having a look at the markets before I came out. There was plenty of money around for her. She was 13-2 into 9-2. She is standout form now in second to cracking name at Tipperary. This will be her 5th run since she was in the season. I think that should really get her back to what she was showing on the grass. If she can transfer her to the all weather, I think she'll be very hard to keep out of the frame at 9-2.
Yeah, moving on to the third race, Alan, the 3 o'clock, 7 furlongs again. I am going to go for Caesar's Comet, James McCauley and Shane Foley. How many times over the winter season have I said that already? Look, Foley and McCauley have teamed up for some quite nice rides in the past, and look, that's a cliff horse here for me in truth. 12-1, we'll get on the right side eventually. How many times have we said Caesar's Comet is bound to rock up soon? Look, just can't seem to get there. Back on 7 hopefully helps. It's a competitive race. May need some luck in running anyway. Each way 12-1. Happy out.
Yeah, well, look, I'm probably in the same boat, Ryan, but with a different horse. I think we're all in this. Oh, they're going to win one soon. They're going to win one soon. But Rosie Rock is the one for me that I think will probably get her head in front this time around. She finished third to Designer Colleen last time out. That form's been frank since, with Sense of Romance who finished second. Sense of Romance came out, was very impressive. I think we were on course for that night.
Yeah.
Eleuterio finished 8th on that occasion, has since run well at Dundalk. Rosie Rock's better off at the weights with Designer Colleen. I think she's getting £10 in favour for like a couple of lengths. I keep an eye on the market. She's in around 4-1. Again, much like most meetings at Dundalk. They're very hard to keep out of the frame at 4-1. She's a solid each way play.
Yeah, for me, I think this is a race that I'd be more keen to look to place betting than anything. First four, first five, maybe first three for you. Um, Moving on to the 3:30, it's a 6 furlong race. Look, I can't not tip this one. She started off the season out with so much promise, and she had plenty of ability early on, but it seems to have gone wrong somewhere. She's a big price here, 14-1. I think she is. Loops Gold is who I'm talking about in case you haven't got that. Jesse Harrington and Shane Foley. It's a big drop down from, I suppose, an ambitious run at the Blenheim Stakes. Has ran a few handicaps and maidens along the way. Probably not a horse that's set world light at this point, but one that I definitely have a go at. And you know what? You never know. She might actually like Dundalk, so could work out that way. Each way, 14-1. I'll take Lopes Gold.
Yeah, look, Ryan, I was probably between Luke's Gold and Obtain of Ger Lyons's, but I think the £10 claim that Sean Bird has on Obtain kind of swung it in that favour. Look, you normally have top weight in the nursery, and you say they'll probably be the classiest horse in the race. Could be right, could be wrong. The form of a maiden behind Orinoco River has kind of doesn't look the worst form at all. I think Sean Bird will get he's a nice little posse in stall one. I think he'll pop out, probably be handy enough. Look, she should be tough to keep out of frame. The sort of card tomorrow looks each way plays all over the place.
Yeah.
Again, I'd be playing 5-1 each way with Obtain.
Yeah. Like I said, each way plays all over the place. The 4 o'clock, it's over 6 furlongs as well. I am going for collective power here. Ben Cohen and Eddie Lynham teaming up. Black Power was supposed to go last week, was withdrawn, was non-runner. He was drawn in stall 17 too, which probably would have hindered his chances in truth. I know I was still keen on him to win from 17, but look, he's in at 6 here this week, which in all truth is much favourable. He did win a good maiden over 5 furlongs when we last seen him, and look, has been a regular performer, a string of thirds as well. Look, I will play him in this race. You know, I was keen on him last week, but wasn't to be because he got withdrawn.
Yeah, look at it. This is probably one of the trickiest races of the day for me. I looked through it, like, and the only thing I come up with was a big, massive outsider where I actually thought Wyndham Bell would have been about 10s or 12s. It ended up being 25s. Kiana Van Buren's going to be on board for John McConnon. She's going to take a valuable £10 off. Now, this filly kind of caught the eye in a recent Claymore when ridden by Siobhan Rutledge. Disputed the lead early, kind of got out pace, stayed on again. She wasn't beaten far at Laytown the time before. She could be coming back into form at the right time. Look, she's 25s. Again, small each way, wouldn't go too mad. She could be staying on for a place.
Yeah. Moving on to the 2 miler, Alan. I know that's the one you fancy, so you might as well walk through. We're on the same horse here.
Yeah, look at this. I know you were there at Navan on Sunday, and Futurum Region couldn't have been any more impressive. Look, I was watching Gaspar Desai in that race, and coming to 2 out, I didn't even see Futurum Region coming, and he absolutely hacked up. Now, I looked at the, you look at a hurdle mark versus a flat mark, and you say Wesley Joyce is going to be taking weight off. He's in here off a mark of 43. Look, surely if this horse comes in the same form as he did at Navan the weekend, he's going to take an absolute world of beating. He's 11-4 into 2-1 with ourselves at bar one. I think he'll be very tough to beat.
Yeah, like you said, I was at the track there last weekend, and like I said, it won nicely. This was probably the one that blew me away the most on the day, with the exception of Hollow Games, because I love Hollow Games. If you've watched last year's Cheltenham preview, you will know all about that. Yeah, no, look, if it jumped well, it ran well. I know it won't need jumps at Dundalk, obviously, but yeah, it travelled well the whole race and destroyed them in the end. Won by, what was it, 9 lengths, 8 lengths, something like that. Being Robinson, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me, and probably the biggest thing for me, is Navan's a stepping up finish. Now he's going to go around 2 mile. That was a 2 mile 6. This is 2 mile around Dundalk. I think they'll go probably a bit of a clip. I think the quicker they go, the more they'll suit him. I think Wesley Joyce will probably get much of an armchair raider in here and see what he can do up the straight. I think probably connections are looking, they're going to make hay off this 43, and I think I seen gone up £14 for that win at Navan on Sunday. So yeah, look at 2-1. I'd say it'll be a lot shorter come race time.
Yeah, I'm completely agreeing. This was an absolute striking animal, really, to look at, even in the parade ring. Yeah, 2-1. Wesley Joyce claiming 7. What's not to like? The only thing I will be disappointed if Sharjah does hack up and I have not tipped it. Moving on to the 5 o'clock, Alan, what do you fancy?
Yeah, I'm again big price one, Ryan. I think we were slightly pointed towards this one last time, if you remember Eagle Terrace up Dennis Hogan's. This one, like we were at Dundalk that night. Now I didn't notice it at the time, but I watched this race back. This horse got blocked for room on a couple of occasions. Now, look, it was formerly trained by John Gosden. I went through his form lines tonight, and the one I noticed was he ran in a novice race won by Scope, where he finished fourth. For Epsom Derby and Doncaster St Leger second, Mojo Star actually finishing second on that occasion. Now, there's no doubt Dennis Hogan and his team are going to like this for maybe handicapping, or they're going to send it over hurdles. I see we have a short price favourite in the race. I'd be keeping a close eye in the market. I think there's 20s available on Eagle Terrace. Again, small each way. Wouldn't surprise me if it ran into the frame, but with the favourite hard to beat. So we'll point it over to you with a Luke Comer selection, no doubt.
Yeah, you're on the button there. Luke Comer and Wayne Lord and Seattle Creek. Look, I know it's an odds-on favourite, but narrowly lost out to Curra last time in a maiden that, it could have been a really nice maiden. The form hasn't worked out immediately yet, but look, Seattle Creek ran a mighty impressive race that day. It was beating neck, and it'll be interesting to see if he can do it on the all-weather too. 4-6, there's not really much to say on that. I don't like tipping odds-on favourites. If I was to leave 2 races out of it this day or this week, I would be leaving the bottom 2, the last 2 races. But speaking of the last 2 races, I have gone for a Luke Comer double. Moving on to the half 5, it's 1 mile 2. I have gone for Luke Comer's Damn It, also ridden by Wayne Lorden. Look, this is, like I said, a tough race. It's not one I'm keen on playing. Purely out of interest, really. We double, Luke Comer double. Damn It's last race was quite competitive. Golden Twilight won it that day. Dan was back in 5th. As I said, it's not a race I'm too keen on touching, but just for the sake of it, I'll go with the double, the Comer double.
Yeah, well, look, I'd say if we got a fiver for every time we say the word Luke Comer here tonight, I'd say we'll be in up a few pounds. But yeah, I'm going to go for Cannoli in this race, trained by John McConnon. But again, finished 4th behind the Luke Comer run of Scarlett Seymour on Friday night. Now, this filly was only beaten 3 lengths on that occasion, was ridden by Kiana Van Buren, and I think Kiana's going to be on board again, claiming 10. Now, look, as she finished second to start on Monday when trained by Dermot Well back at Galway in October. Dropped £5 by the handicapper in the last couple of starts. Look, if Kiana can get a handy position on this filly, it wouldn't surprise me just if she ran on. Now, I think, again, if you look at that market, I think you might be able to get it, Ryan. I think Luke Comer has a reserve, Dr. Patrick, that might be close to the top of the market if he gets in. Just if you want to confirm that for me, I think he is.
Yeah, he's 2-1 at the minute.
Yeah, now
whether he gets it or not is another question.
Yeah, I was strong in that. Now that'd be something I'd be keeping an eye on in with your selection. If a Luke Comer could be a bit like the other night, Chris Hayes rode a double, and it was a short price favourite. Dr. Patrick got picked up by one of the outsiders, but something to keep an eye on. Cannoli for me in around 9 or 10-1.
Yeah. Did you tip Cannoli last week? No. No. I don't know where I've seen it, but I've seen someone had tipped Cannoli. Maybe I tipped Cannoli. I'm not really sure. I'm leaving out with it.
Maybe it's Danoli you're thinking in about 20 years ago.
Moving on anyway, Alan, to the end, our usual bit, the nap next best each way. We'll let you kick off.
Yeah, I'll bomb away. You know my nap's with Durham Region. I was really impressed by it. Watching on RT on Sunday. My next best is going to be Rosie Rock. I think she's a filly. Look, I thought she would pick up one of these handicaps sooner or later. Each way, I'm going to go with Eagle Terrace in the maiden. Look, I like the fact that there's a 4-6 favourite in there. Dennis Hogan, 20-1 shot. Look, he might throw a few quid down, and we could see a better performance from this one.
Yeah, I am gonna nap up. Could be good in the second race. 3-1 though for that one. Each way, I am gonna go. It's a tough one. I have quite a few each way picks. I'm gonna go Heavenly Body in the first race. I think that has a brilliant chance. Yeah, and next best, go with that. Collective Power in the 4 p.m.
Yeah, just moving on, Ryan, just something just to mention just for the weekend. We're probably back at Dundalk on Friday again, but then you're moving on to the Bowen Race and Winter Festival just on Sunday at Ferryhouse. Look at cracking race in the Royal Bond. You have the Drinmore, you have the return of Honeysuckle. Just a couple of things to watch out for. I was very impressed with Gabanaco, who's going to run in the Drinmore. My mate Mozzie was very impressive on 4-3 a day as well. It's very good race. It's competitive racing. Something to keep an eye out for. I hopefully will be there. But look, if someone's looking for a nap, I'd have a few quid in my mate Mozzie in the Royal Bond. I think it'd be very hard to beat.
Quick question for you before we do go. Do you think Honeysuckle will win?
Honeysuckle against Classical Dream. I think, look, Ryan, she's 4-7 with us. I actually seen a bit of a special bow on it up there to win the Hatton's Grace and go on and win the Champion Hurdle at Cheltenham. It's in around 5-2. I'd be happy to take a bit of that. And if I was advising punters what to do, that's the way to go. Like, she should win. She's 4-7. She should come into that race and flying form. Classical Dreams, no back number. There's a lot in that race. It's a good race for the punter, but look at Henry de Bromhead, Rachel Blackmore. They're flying off the back of Absolute Tower. I'm hoping that Rachel will go across the water for a Cladareer in the Labrook. I think it's formerly the Hennessy at Newbury on Saturday. So if she goes over there and then comes back for Honeysuckle, there's no doubt the team will be in flying form, and she's going to take a world of beating.
Yeah, I'm worried about Salio.
Yeah,
I think he's been going great guns. He's won his past 2 races, 2 decent races. The last one was at Tipperary. He beat the Rasso, Jason Middleton, Felix Stagey in a Grade 3 hurdle. Yeah, I'm interested to see that race. All right.
Yeah, there's one rain in it for me. I think we spoke about this last year. Ronald Pump flew home and nearly gave Honeysuckle a bit of a worry last year in the race. Now, he hasn't had his preparation has been a bit all over the place. I think he got injured and then he missed. I don't know, it was at Cheltenham, I think, or then he came back, and he's the sort of horse that could be better off fresh, and he might just give her a run. Look at the place. There's going to be a right raw. I'd say it'll be well full for Sunday. Everyone keeping their 2-meter distance, as you know yourself. But if she wins, there'll be a right raw. There's everyone going there to see the Queen, so it'll be Honeysuckle all the way on Sunday, I think.
100%. You mentioned Ronald Pump there. Ronald Pump has ran in France since, but is going back down to the distance it ran in the Hans Grace last year. Hasn't ran at that distance yet, since that race. So yeah, like you said, it's an interesting one to keep an eye on. It just could be a bit too far for Honeysuckle. I really want her to win, but I don't know. The distance is worrying me.
She's won over it before. There's no.
Yeah, she has won over it before, but she hasn't raced over it before since she raced Ronald Pump, who is a notorious stayer, like, really.
No, I just think, look, it's probably going to be set up for her. She is a year older, and look, everyone looks at these races and they go, right, if I'm going to get the odds on favourite beat, where do I go? I don't think anything will have the speed or turn of foot that she'll show from the back of the last of Ferryhouse. Look, again, Rachel kicked last year. She jumped and went away. Like she was gone at the back of the last. Ronald Pump flew down the outside. I actually thought he was going to get up and he didn't. Look, she's not look, she's now we're not gonna all lump on at 4 to 7 until she's a hell of a
Oh,
price. But
yeah.
if you're putting in maybe something like the likes of Gabanaco, My Mate Mozzie, Honeysuckle, a Clad Rio on Saturday at Newbury, you get a nice wee lucky 15 there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's it from us. We'll probably talk a bit more about it on Friday, will we? Or
Yeah,
Thursday, whenever the other video goes up.
yeah,
Right, that's it from us for another episode, and hopefully we bag some winners.
yeah. Just make sure you like, follow, share, and subscribe.